Yes, welcome back everyone. Thank you for being here. Mr. V Talk back with another video in partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. As always, we are focused on our principles of I am more than enough, focusing on 3 primary principles, which is love, respect, and gratitude, also known as thank you. All right. Those have been the lessons we've been teaching at the Boys and Girls Club of Brazoria County across the area. Definitely getting out to a number of schools right now while we are in social distancing lockdown for a little bit. Starting to move around a little bit now, but right now it's, we're still not able to go back to school, not able to go to a lot of different places, and so we are doing our virtual learning as part of the Boys and Girls Club program for the school year. So today, we're going to focus on something that many of parents out there are going to be extremely happy about. And many of you youngsters have a primary issue going on at all of your homes. And that issue is cleaning your rooms. There are things, items, all over the place. And in case you didn't know it, kids, that really does drive your parents a little bit up the wall whenever you don't take care of the one thing, which is cleaning your room. And what we're going to learn today is that when you clean your room, it actually will help you in so many different areas of your life. Because you gotta understand, when you walk into an area and it's got things everywhere and a bunch of trash around and you can't walk in and out of it, you're stepping over stuff and all that, like it's a mental feeling that goes with it where you just feel a little bit down. You don't feel as upbeat when you come into a room where you don't feel comfortable and it's not cleanliness around you. So when you get rid of all the clutter and all of those things, you can breathe easier, you can think easier, and it just feels better to be there. So our exercise for today is titled Clean Your Room and Your Mind Will Bloom. And what that basically means is that whenever you clear out space, whenever you clear out a space, it's an exercise that gives you the room to breathe. Because have you ever noticed that when you go into libraries are usually pretty clean? Why? Because they want you to have the opportunity to think and grow and just have time to be able to take in the space around you. When you're surrounded by a pile of clothes, by old stuff and different things of that nature, it can really wear down on you, on your mind or whatever. And so want to give you the opportunity to be able to clear out that space so that you can clear out your mind and be able to make some things happen and be able to unleash that creativity which is already within you. However, with that said, I understand that some of you in your rooms are a total mess. Probably walk in and there are things everywhere. Just piles and piles of stuff. I understand that. And I'm not saying that this process is going to be a one-time process. This will have to go in stages. And so what I want to show you today is how you can organize yourself one step at a time. So remember, clean your room and your mind will bloom. So what we're going to do today is we are going to focus on the idea of one. See that? One. One drawer, one box, one area of your closet, one whatever. Deal with one. And for the example today, I actually have bought a box from my closet that I have no clue what's in here. It is just stuff. Probably junk. But what we need to do is we need to figure out what it is. So for this exercise here, you will need a few things, and I wanted to make sure and get this correct. What you need, you will need, obviously if you're going to clean out a box, you know, there's a box there, but you will need an empty box. You will need a trash bag, and you will need a pen and notebook. Now for me, I like to use the composition books. These are awesome. And you'll see what this is going to be used for as we go through with this. So let's go ahead and proceed and start looking through this box and see what we have in here. Okay, first thing. This is an owner's manual to a computer I no longer own. Therefore, this is no longer a needed thing in my life. So what this would go into, the trash. It will go right over there. Let's see what this is. Oh, it is my nameplate that went on my high school jersey. This is a cool little thing. What I should do with this is I should actually hang this up in my office or in my bedroom or something, and probably not tucked away here in this box. So this is a usable thing that I can use. So I will keep this. I will put this to the side, and I will put that on the list of things to put up. What do we have here? So this is a photograph. This is a photograph of my sister and my niece. Quite a long time ago. They've both grown up since then, but this is a photo of my family. This probably should go on the wall somewhere. So this, along with the other nameplate, needs to be added to the hang up spot. So what do we have here? Just an old notebook. Has a few things written in it. So it says I choose wealth. So this seems like a notebook I was starting to do some work in. So what I want to do with this is I will put this in the pile, in the stack of things to keep and move forward with. Now what is this? This looks like an old reporter's pad from when I was covering sports media for Fox Sports. It's got a few pages left in it, but for the most part, it no longer has much value because all the info is out of it. So this can actually go into the trash pile of things that no longer need to be around. Another notepad, very few pages. It can go, we have plenty. Here's some old business cards that I had stashed away in a little plastic Ziploc bag. For what reason? I don't know. So what I'm going to do with these, if these weren't that important, they would have been in my phone or in my Rolodex. So these are going to go as well. And here's a bunch of old business cards. Here's some old addresses. Wow. Stamps, when stamps were 37 cents. That was a long time ago. So that at least does have some value. So we'll put this to the side and we'll sift through from what's good there. Now this is interesting. A gigantic bag of memory cards. You remember when we used to use these before Dropbox, Google Drive, and all of those other OneDrive and all those things like that? So these are a whole bunch of thumb drives that we used to use in the early 2000s. So this is what we're going to do with this. I'm going to pull this aside and I'm going to put all of these into my computer, and I'm going to look and see what's on each one of these drives. And when I pull what's needed off of these drives, these two will go to the scrap heap because we don't use those anymore. So there's that. Found a Purple Cow book by Seth Godin. It's a great book, by the way. This is a keeper. This needs to be on the shelf and not stashed away in a box. Okay. Looks like I was given an award for speaking. This was when I was at Houston Community College. This is an award, a plaque they gave me for speaking at to the graduating class of Houston Community College downtown. This probably should be on the wall and not in a box. So this will get hung up with the other items. And it looks like there's a bunch of CDs from my church here, which need to be filed properly. Bunch of letters, Geico bill. You see this? This is what we call junk mail. This doesn't need to be around. It needs to go. More junk mail, more junk mail, more junk mail, more junk mail, more junk mail. Wow. All of this stuff needs to go. You see, and so what you do is you start doing these types of things and you get organized one at a time. One box, one drawer at a time. One section of a closet at a time. And start getting these things out of here so that you can clear your area, so that you can clear your mind. This is a great exercise. It's a fun exercise. You can get some juice and get some pizza, hang out, and have a cleaning, a purge party. If you're going to be at home, this is a good time to get somewhat of some deep cleaning done. So let's go ahead and do this. Remember, clean your room and your mind will bloom. Go ahead and get started on this project. Start getting these things out of your life. Start throwing away things that no longer serve you, that you no longer need in your life. Kids and adults alike, teachers as well. That's my time. Thank you for this moment. Remember, clean your room and your mind will bloom. And we'll be right back to you real soon with our Boys and Girls Club of Brazoria County mailbag question. Clean your room, your mind will bloom. Get started. Let's go. All right, and we are back. Hopefully you have started on cleaning your room, because that is something that needs to be addressed immediately. Young boys and young girls, please get that taken care of. And trust me, when you do that, your parents, watch how much they light up with you doing, with you taking the steps to being able to clean that room properly. They will love you for it, and they probably will come in and actually help and assist with you getting some of the stuff that's out of there. So now it's time for our Boys and Girls Club of Brazoria County mailbag question for today. Today's question, it is going to come from Miss Lori, site director out at Rasco Middle School. Lori asks, what is the most wonderful thing that's ever happened to you? What is the most wonderful thing that's ever happened to you? Well, Lori, thank you for that question. There's a lot to be grateful for, but I would say the most wonderful thing that ever happened to me was when I realized that I have the ability and the mind to create. So I would say that probably the greatest thing that ever happened to me was when I was introduced to personal and spiritual development. I was probably in my mid-30s at that time. When I started learning to understand and use my mind for good, for the greater things that I want out of life, for all the things that I wanted to achieve and all the goals that I wanted to pursue. Once I learned that, then I realized that the sky's the limit. I realized that all things are possible. I realized that my creative mind can create that which I want, and I can overcome adversity. I can create, I can make things happen, I can serve, I can love, I can do all of these great things once I get my mind in check. So I think that the greatest thing that's ever happened to me is to know and believe that I can create the life that I desire and deserve. All right, well, thank you for that question. And by the way, thank you, Miss Lori, for submitting that question. Also, if you want to get in the Boys and Girls Club of Brazoria County mailbag, please feel free to send an email to info@ahmadvital.com. That's info@ahmadvital.com. We want to get your questions in. We have plenty more segments to be able to fit more questions in, so please submit your questions to that email address. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, Mr. Vital here with the Boys and Girls Club of Brazoria County. Thank you very much. Be well, be safe, and keep showing up on the field of life. That's my time. I'll see you again soon.